Trixie's Treat by Diane Payne. Trix, I repeat, eyeing the potion I've just mixed up from the nameless dregs of our drinks cabinet. Do you really think this is a good idea? She rolls her eyes and waves her green nails. Whatever. She's wearing yellow cat contact lenses, and her eye makeup is more panda than Wanda, her sexy witch character. But the effect's actually quite creepy, like she's possessed. She never does anything by halves, my housemate. Other accessories include a besom broomstick, a gnarled ebony wand, and a velvet corset so tight she's in constant danger of disappearing behind her own boobs. "Jeez, Dr. Buzzkill," says Trixie. "Just down it, will you? I can't actually kill us." "No," I say doubtfully. "I mean, probably not." My costume is a model of restraint compared to hers. I'm a mad scientist in an acid-stained lab coat with a tight white dress underneath, in case I feel any chemistry. Ho ho, I know I'll be dealing with that level of humour all night. It took me an hour to backcomb my hair into an Einstein meets Frankenstein puffball, but it's still too early to go to Pete's party without looking like we've got nothing better to do. So now, we're just sitting in the kitchen, scoffing Haribo out of the pumpkins we carved earlier, and doing shots. When we ran out of vodka, we moved on to miniatures of Jack Daniels, and now we're minesweeping the murky quarter bottles left behind after our last party. Trix eyes my hesitation. "Have I got to do everything?" She grabs her shot and necks it, and then succumbs to a prolonged bout of coughing. A touch too much chili tequila, perhaps. What's it called?" she croaks. I consult my notebook, scribbled with impressive-looking equations I made up while we were on the vodka. "Coffin liquor," I say, pretty pleased with myself. Ugh. She rinses with Red Bull and then grabs my shot and downs that too. "In for a penny." I peer over my plain glass boffin-type specs. Did you know there really is such a thing? It's the ooze and fluids that collect in the bottom of a sealed coffin as the body liquefies. Lead-lined ones are the worst, apparently. They don't leak. Open them after a few hundred years and you've got corpse soup. Now, she really looks a bit queasy. "Beth, honestly, where did you get this horrible stuff?" "Back of the booze cupboard, I told you." "Oh, the internet. Where else?" "Well, some poor guy's in for the small talk of his life tonight," she shudders. I deploy my evil laugh. No need to talk. I'll just slip him a dose of love potion, number 7. I pull a plastic test tube of Ribena out of my breast pocket and waggle it. "Cute. Well, something's got to work, I suppose. We could both do with some action for a change." This is true. It's been enough months that I've stopped counting in months. And as for Trix, well, she's only got eyes for Party Pete, who can't even see straight most of the time. We sit in brief, deep silence, pondering our... Desperation isn't quite the word. Eagerness? enthusiasm, shall we say, to pull tonight. Trix is looking pretty smoking, if the likes of her hashtag hot Halloween selfie are anything to go by. And as for me, well, the lab coat has a lot of pockets, so at least if I get bored I can grab my phone and order an Uber. Well, costume pockets are important. The last time I left my coat on the bed at Party Pete's, it ended up pounded flat by the couple shagging on it when I went to leave. God knows what happened to my old phone, but I never want to see the photos. Honestly, I'll be just pleased if no one cries or throws up on me this time. Halloween parties, in my experience, have all the drunkenness and promiscuity of masked balls, without the mystery or the sophistication. Not that I've ever been to a masked ball. The doorbell rings, shattering the glum, sex-starved silence. Trix switched the electronic chime to the classic Nokia ringtone as an ironic gift for my birthday, and then forgot how to change it back. That was in January. I think I'll ask for a new doorbell next year. Trix sits bolt upright. Who's that? Trick-or-treaters, idiot. We've got the glow-in-the-dark skeleton in the window. Obviously we're fair game. And half of Poundland's seasonal aisle decorating the steps down to our already dilapidated basement flat. I seize a pumpkin which still has a few jelly eyeballs rolling around the bottom. Trix grabs her broom and adjusts her costume. Scary enough. If anyone has a morbid terror of cleavage, definitely. She grins. Oh, fuck off. Party Pete definitely doesn't. Hence the corset. Nice wand, I say, to soften the blow. Hermione Granger's. She makes a face. Nah, they were sold out. £4.50 on eBay. Naturally. I thought the bidding would go higher, but no one else seemed to want it. She draws a quick pentacle in the air. Maybe it's cursed. Ooh. She examines it briefly and then shovels it in her piled up curls, like one of those geisha-style hair sticks. For £4.50, I say. You wish. Well, she says, snatching a tub of fizzy ghosts as the doorbell doodaloos again. Let's not keep our visitors waiting. It's a varied cross-section of local child life that greets us. The effort applied to the costumes ranges from full-on National Theatre wardrobe via off-the-peg supermarket pirate, vampire, wizard, to a fitted cot sheet turned inside out to hide the 101 Dalmatian print. I feel sorry for the little ghost. He doesn't even have any eye holes, presumably because the sheet has to go back on her bed tonight. The kids, although seriously, that kitchen roll mummy is at least 6 foot tall, shuffle excitedly as Wanda slams open the door with a flourish of her besom. Trick or treat, they all scream, except the toddler ghost who jumps on the spot yelling, tree, tree, until the undersized puppy, restrains her. Right, slurs Trix. I suppose we should have eaten more than sugar and E-numbers before moving from vodka to mystery cocktails. Oh well, too late now. I am Wanda
the Witch Wench, and I want you to know who's been naughty and who's been nice.
There's a confused silence. Then a blood-spattered clown says quietly, "That's Christmas." Wanda squints.
All right. Who's been evil and who's been wicked?
They all shoot their arms up eagerly, except Too Cool for School Mummy, who crosses his and pulls out a vape stick. I assume his dickish air of indifference is due to being there under duress, probably to guard a younger sibling from poison apples and slavering paedophiles. I have an amusing vision of his paper costume catching fire until I realise it's not a real cigarette.
Fantastic,
cries Wanda.
Treats for everybody. Keep up the bad behaviour.
She starts haphazardly distributing handfuls of candy into the waiting buckets, and then glances at the mummy lounging halfway up the steps.
How about you, Sonny?
She calls, raising her arm against the streetlight glare and nearly knocking me sideways with her suddenly uplifted bosom.
Trick or treat?
The mummy leans forward with sudden interest, a glint of braces in his grin. What is he? An overgrown 14-year-old beanpole? "Show us your magic tits, Wanda," he says. "That'd be a treat." Trixie freezes. The older ones giggle. Into the sudden stillness, the little ghost asks,
What's magic tits?
I wonder about telling the boys' parents, but that's the problem with Halloween. Everyone's got a mask on, and you don't know who's who. The mummy is just a pair of glaring brown eyes and narrow bitten lips. And he knows we'd have to pull off his bandages to identify him. Smug little git.
Okay, sweetheart,
says Trix, the drunken hilarity dropping off her like a sheet.
There's children present, so I'm not going to swear, but that's out of order.
The kids shuffle uneasily, aware that some boundary has been crossed, but unsure what or how. Trix slides the wand from her witch's bun with the silent precision of a samurai unsheathing his sword, and directs it to the sulking mummy.
Fancy apologising?
The children hold their breath. This level of drama CBBC cannot provide. I'm just hoping no one reports him for intimidating a minor or something. The horny mummy is as silent as a sarcophagus.
All right, says Trixie cheerfully. Trick it is. Had to give you a chance, though.
She lifts her wand fractionally, a conductor beginning the concerto. Then she intones.
By the power invested in me, by the deities of darkness, and the elder gods of the place that must not be named.
Nice save.
For the crime of insulting
think I hear thunder, till I realise it's the bin lorry down the road. Still, Trix is impressive as Wanda. Backlit by our security light, she presents the classic witch's silhouette, and the bathroom vent behind wreathes her in a cloak of smoky steam. She raises her wand high and aims it at the mummy.
Treat thou a witch with reverent grace, she chants, lest this night's mask becomes a face.
The moment is magnificent and terrifying. Unfortunately, right then, a gobstopper sails out of the darkness, knocking Trix's wand from her fingers. It flies upwards, spinning like a majorette's baton, and then lands on the concrete path with a fearsome crack. And it explodes, covering everyone, including the gobstopper-throwing mummy, in a shower of sparks. Then the security light blows. I step forward blindly. All right, everybody, show's over. Off you go, carefully up the steps. Have a happy Halloween, except you. You know who you are. Disappointed but pleasurably awed, the kids leave. The mummy, I'm satisfied to see, can't get away quick enough. Trix tries to retrieve her wand, but in the dark, it's nowhere to be found. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's matchsticks by now. She didn't tell me it was an electronic one, but I'm glad it's gone, if I'm honest. If it had exploded at Pete's party, it might actually have hurt someone. We go back inside, and after a bit of rummaging, I find a forgotten bottle of Merlot in the cupboard under the sink, and that keeps us going until it's time to head for Pete's. There's not much more to say, except the curse seemed to work. It was only an overnight thing, but from reports in the local paper and my experience at Pete's, it affected everyone the sparks hit. So, the little ghost spent the night sliding through the bars of her cot, then the wall into her brother's room, where a diminutive werewolf was tearing up the sheepskin rug and howling at the moon. The pirate raided his mum's rum bottle, and then the jewellery box. And the less said about the killer clown, the better. As for our silver-tongued mummy, he spent the night in A&E with his long-suffering parents, shrieking for someone to take off the bandages. They couldn't, of course, not without peeling bits off him too. But the next morning, after a night of sedation, they turned back to kitchen paper. I hear the boy can barely even look at a roll of plenty now without wetting himself. As for me and Trix, she cast a spell of slavery on Pete at the party for a laugh, and it seemed to work. He hasn't stopped calling her since. And when the night was winding down and there was nothing left to drink, I shared my test tube of love potion number 7 with the hot Severus Snape I'd been chatting to all night. And, well, let's just say there was chemistry.